Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in him, and he will act. He will bring forth your righteousness as the light, and your justice as the noonday. Psalm 37, verses 4 through 6. As we continue to work our way through question 104 of the Westminster Larger Catechism, we are slowly reminding ourselves of all of the duties required in the first commandment. The commandment, you shall have no other gods before me. And one of the duties required in the first commandment is the duty of delight in God. Psalm 37, we love the Psalms, but Psalm 37 is a particular favorite around here, or as it is better known in some of our circles, 73a in the Cantus Christi. In this psalm, David urges us not to fret when the wicked prosper, which is a very helpful reminder when you live in an age like ours. One of the exhortations David gives on the way to not fret when the wicked prosper is to delight yourself in the Lord. This is an excellent promise because he will give you the desires of your heart. So this is an excellent promise, but a high bar is placed immediately preceding. God will give you the desires of your heart if you delight yourself in the Lord. But what does it mean to delight in the Lord? Does it mean to just come here on Sunday and participate in corporate worship? Does a begrudging obedience to Christ count as delighting in him? I think that one's pretty laughable. We know the answer to that. So if it's not those things, then what does delight look like? That guy in your neighborhood or on your commute to work who washes his car every single weekend out in the driveway, that guy delights in his car. And his delight for his car is evident and obvious to any passersby, even casual passersby. That friend or coworker who is constantly striving for likes and influence on Instagram or Facebook delights in that attention, and it is obvious to anyone who sees. So, what do you run to when you have a few spare minutes in a busy week? A good book, right? Surely there's nothing wrong with delighting in a good book, right? A Netflix series, maybe a quick nap, some sleep, a moment away from your children, a moment away from sisters or brothers. Ouch. Anything but your schoolwork, right? Anything. I'll take anything except schoolwork. What about the next business transaction? Or thinking about more customers? Or a higher cash flow? Maybe you're mentally running to the beginning of the school year. Maybe to the end of the school year, right? Depends on probably your age bracket. Have you ever seen that glorious moment when a father, whose children really love him, returns from a trip after being gone for a few days? Or sometimes you can get a small peek of that when that same father returns just from a long day at the office. Or, those kids, they will drop everything, no matter what they're doing. It can be their favorite toy. They drop everything, they run, and they tackle him at the door, right? That is pure delight. Another example would be, since one that's apropos to a lot of us in here, that first picture that you get to take when you have a new baby and the sibling is holding the new baby, right? That's delight. When a mother sees her newborn child for the first time, that is delight. To be so consumed with affection that you will drop everything to be with God. Is that your delight level? What do you delight in? Maybe you should ask your spouse or a neighbor or your parents, if you're brave enough. Because what you delight in is usually obvious to the people who are just looking at you, just casual passersby. When your neighbors see you, is your delight in God evident? Or is your delight list Or does your delight list match up pretty well with theirs, though you worship different gods? When God looks at you, more importantly than your neighbors, when God looks at you, does he see a heart delighting in him? Just let that one hang for a second. Well, because an honest accounting of just one day of our desires and our delights would keep us busy confessing for a while, we are, of course, reminded of the need to confess our sins regularly. So if you're able, please kneel with us as we confess our sins silently, and then we will do so corporately with the prayer found in the bulletin.